Hello there and welcome to our latest interview series. I'm joined here by Kevin Wilson, one of the first signings to come to Scotland back in the 2013-14 season. Good to see you, Kev.
See you, mate. Thanks for coming.
Right, so we're going to talk about you're one of the initial signings to the club back in the 2013-14 season when the club was launched.
Yeah.
What were the days like and how did the signing come about?
How did it come about? I think at that time around the town there was a lot of whispers in relation to something starting up at K Park. A lot of the amateur teams had been notified of it in advance. We were quite far. I played for the Rolly at the time, and we had gigs at the Rolly for a number of years. And then maybe March or April time, gigs got in touch with myself. I think Big Cheesy as well, and just says you fancy having a meeting. So we were up and met him and Kingy. First time I ever met Kingy. Had a chat with us. It was a big deal. We played for the Rolly for 6 or 7 years and we've been very successful. So it was a tough draw. Our best pals played for the Rolly at the same time as well, so it was tough. But it was a fair amount of time to think it over, and eventually, as we know, we ended up signing.
Okay, I mean it's very unusual to come into a new team like that, which there wasn't any previous seasons to go by. So how did they sell the club to you? Was it the big picture of trying to get promoted through the leagues?
Yeah, well, that was a long term goal. I think we all kind of knew that the first season was just going to be a sort of practice run, if you like. I think they threw a few friendlies together. I remember we played Clyde one night at K Park and it was a bunch of other kind of better amateur players in East Kilbride. Cheesy played, myself, Tierney, Pello, Temps, and then a bunch the Clyde boys, like Kieran, Daw, Jed, Gary and that we played. I think I scored that day. But yeah, that we were made aware that it was just a sort of rerun. There was no promotion that year. It was just a sort of settling in period for the league to see how it took off in terms of the pyramid system.
And it's funny when you're talking about the story about the friendlies early doors. Actually, that's just how East Kilbride TV came about, wasn't it? When Kingy was asking about videographers on the bus.
We were. I would, at this point we'd all pretty much confirmed our signing, and we were on our way down to Annan, I think, if I remember correctly, and we were training 3 times a week at that point. I'd missed a whole week of training because I'd been at T in the Park, and I was straight in to the game at Annan. And it was a tough shift, man, just having been in T in the Park for 4 days. I think that's the 1-2. Johnny Dyack scored a brace that day. And on the way back up the road, Kingy had happened to mention that he was looking for someone to do the video and someone to do the kit man. At that point my dad was a referee, so I had to get my dad out of refereeing and get him back into real football. So I suggested that to him and he was all for it. And I think you were a student at the time.
Yeah, I was at uni, yeah.
So I'd contacted you and obviously you were you're still there now, so the rest is history for you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's funny because the way it came about, the original agreement was myself to do home games.
Yeah. So
it wasn't until the first home games, actually, the only game I missed was the opening game against Stirling Uni.
Right.
And it was an away game, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
2-1 or something.
2-1, aye.
And Meldrum get sent off, didn't he?
Aye, and Doug scored, I think, that day.
Aye.
If I remember correct.
So my first game was a Wednesday night at K Park, and it was Whitehill Welfare, yeah. And at the time, if you remember, Whitehill Welfare had just won the East of Scotland League, so they were one of the favourites to win the league that season.
Yeah.
What was it like going into that game? Because it was quite a busy crowd in at K Park. There was because it was a Wednesday night, and everyone was curious to see what the team would look like.
It was curiosity. If you remember, East Kilbride had at that time had a lot of good amateur teams, and there was a lot of rivalry. And so you looked at the sideline that night. There was the Rolly were there, the YM were there, Dynamo were there, and it was. Yeah, it was. I think we went into it. It's almost like you talk about young players going into the first team and they always play as like a free spirit. We went into that with no expectations at all, whereas Whitehill Welfare came in with a little bit of sort of expectation behind them. I think obviously at that point you're looking at the bookies and stuff like that, and they were miles ahead of us in terms of the bookies.
Yeah.
And we just went in and played our football, and obviously inevitably we won the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was some night as well. I mean, and it was more of an even game than I'd have thought as well. Like with the expectation that heavy favourites right away have come to K Park. The East Kilbride team at the time was I think it was four players on loan from Clyde, and the rest was just the best of the amateur players.
We would have had Gary, Jed, Kieran Daw, I can't remember who else.
Bronski.
Big Bronski, who's the one that's still going there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
big Bronski as well. And then the rest would have been all the kind of amateur boys.
And it was, for me, looking in, I don't know what to expect, and it was a very competitive game with Ross Meldrum being suspended. Jacob Keane, as a 16-year-old, made his debut that night.
Yeah, he played really well actually.
And he was brilliant that night, and it was a real marker that season. Off the back of that victory, we managed to spring on and win a couple of games in a row.
I think the Spartans game fell in at that point as well, didn't it? That was a battle that day. That was a scorcher of a day at
K Park,
Saturday afternoon. I lasted 65. I think I got taken off after 65. I went and sat in the stand, and obviously we Pell skippered us that day, and he popped up with the winner, which was a massive scalp that day.
Oh yeah, that was
I think we were something like 5-1 or 6-1 in the bookies to get a win that day at home. So that just gives you an idea. The Spartans are a massive club. We managed to. I think it was an 85th minute winner for wee Pell, so that was a brilliant day that day. I think we had a good night out that night actually.
No new boys back then, that wouldn't surprise me.
I think that was our first night out proper as a squad. You can't not go out after that. It's our fourth game of the season.
Something like that, yeah. And that set the club up to go on a run, and I believe due to games being called off and whatnot, due to kind of the bad weather in the autumn, there was a point where they would go down to Selkirk and win to go top of the league in the first season. That
Selkirk game, I was injured. I wasn't in the squad that day, but I think we won. I think we won convincingly actually.
Yeah.
And that was I think we were top of the league for a week, even if that. But at the same time, for a team that's just been thrown together over the course of a summer, that was some achievement at that stage of the season.
Well, what was that like back then? What were the expectations? Obviously, the team done unbelievably well to kind of hit the ground running the way they did. Where did you think it could go at that point?
Well, we had a mixture of personalities in the change room. Kingy and Giggs were obviously very positive. Obviously, you've got to know them now personally, two very positive people. So they had us up. You had a changing room of guys. I was fairly quiet in that changing room in comparison to how I would have been previously with Rolly and that. But you had guys like Kieran Daw who just exudes confidence at all times. You could have been playing Barcelona and he was expecting to win the game. He was expecting to be man of the match and score a hat-trick. Yeah. Whereas you had guys like Big Temps who was always quietly confident. He just believed in his ability. He was never vocal. He was a good captain because he just exuded confidence at all times. But in a very different way to Daw. Yeah. So I think we kind of knew what we had. We knew we were an unexpected quantity. So I think we gave we're giving a lot of teams a fright at that time of the season. I think that went on. That sort of went on for 3 or 4 months. I think we had a tough winter, but found our feet in the spring. But at that point, we were teams were getting a fright off us week in, week out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then unfortunately, the league form kind of tailed off at that point. Yeah. However, the team, that winning mentality you're talking about, really shone through when they started the cup run, the South Challenge Cup that season.
Aye.
The first round was up against St Cuthbert's at K Park. What do you remember about that game?
I went to extra time. I remember because it was getting dark early at that point. I remember we played under the lights for the second half and for extra time. And by that time we'd got another couple of boys in. Davey Arthur had companies at that point. I think Andy Johnson was in at that point. And I scored in extra time. It was 2 each at full time. We get 2 goals in extra time. Actually they were an Eastern Scotland team, right?
Yeah.
And they actually, so at this point we've gained ourselves a reputation. So it was the first time that season we'd been favourites probably.
No, yeah, you're probably right.
And I think in the first 10 minutes of the game, I've beat the offside trap, and the goalkeeper's just come out and absolutely melted me with 30 yards out. You get a straight red. And I believe, did they go 1 up?
Yeah, they scored.
They went 1 up. They ended up 2 each. Straight after half time, straight after full time and extra time, I've scored. And I don't know who it was. It might have been Dyack scored as well.
No, that was right. That was Johnny Dyack's first goal for the club.
Yeah, first competitive goal.
Yeah.
He scored 2 that day.
Yeah, got a double.
And that was the start of the great run in the cup.
Yeah, and Well, it was quite an unusual next round away to Threave. It's one of the most bizarre games I've ever filmed anyway.
That was a nightmare because we got a midweek tie at Threave, which is what, a 2 hour drive?
2 hours there, 2 hours back, yeah, easy.
On a Wednesday night or Tuesday night, so everyone's got to sort their work out first and foremost. I had to go a half day. We've drove down there, everything looks cushy, we've got down there, and then this freak fog comes in.
Yeah.
And to the point where you literally can't see who you're passing the ball to.
Yeah.
I'm led to believe, rumour has it, that Scott Haddon scored an absolute worldie for about 35 yards that day, but no, there's no witnesses because he was standing in the fog on his own.
I filmed the game, and you can't even see it in the footage. You just
heard him cheer and shout, "What a goal!"
Aye.
As far as I'm concerned, I've never seen it. I don't know if it went in or not.
Bizarre, and then the kind of anxious way at half time going, can this game continue?
Yeah, and the ref had to call it, to be fair. It was unplayable.
So the following Wednesday, we're back down again.
Back in to negotiate days off with work, back down again. You need to remind me the final score. I'm a selfish player. I remember I scored. Remember wee Jed's played me down the channel and I've just put it back across the goal.
It was the only goal.
Foot,
yeah.
1-0.
1-0, yeah.
Nice. Back on the bus, back up the road. It's not a nice place to go, really. Threave on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, when you've got your work the next morning, it's a long journey.
We've done well to go down and get the job done and just get out of there after the previous week.
And then that was us through to the semi-finals, and it's from a tight 1-0 victory to an absolute thriller away to Lothian Thistle.
That was billed quite a big game because I think Kingy had a bit of a relationship. Who was it? Kevin Twaddle was their gaffer.
Yeah, the former model player.
I think they were good pals. Obviously, Lothian Thistle, Hutchie Vale, we've got a great history of players coming through. I think every good player that's left Hibs in the past 10 years has played for them at some point.
Oh yeah. In their ground, they've actually got a who's who, and I think they've got a first 11 with Alan McGregor, Kenny Miller, Griffiths, every player that's came from that Edinburgh side has came through that club, you know.
Right. That was like a game of basketball, right enough.
That was madness.
It finished 5-4, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we were ahead. I think we looked comfortable, and then they've robbed us back, and then they looked comfortable, then we've pulled them back. And I think I get taken off in the 90th minute. Didn't play an extra time. I think Craig McLeish scored the winner.
Craig came on as a sub.
He's come on and he's got the winner. 5-4, but for the last 5 minutes it was backs against the wall. They flung everything at us, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're in the position of having to prepare for a cup final.
And behind the scenes, what was the attitude of the club like? I mean, I take it nobody expected a cup final in the first season.
We were kind of fortunate the way the fixtures panned out because we had the 3G at K Park. We finished our league season before everyone else, really.
Yeah.
So what we had 2 or 3 weeks preparation time before the cup final, but in saying that, there was no competitive football.
Right.
So it can work both ways. You've got plenty of time in the training field, but at the same time, there's nothing better than playing an actual competitive game to prepare. But at the end of the day, the attitude of the club was the cup final was 1v1, right?
Yeah.
It's 11v11 on the pitch. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen, and so proved the case. Yeah,
so that takes us on to the is it an injury or an illness? What would be the best way to describe it?
No, so in that period of time when we were training, I'd fallen ill at training, went home, and we wouldn't subside. So I went up to the NHS 24, and the doctor says, "Look, I think you might have appendicitis. We'll keep you in." And I was like, "No, don't be daft. Just got a dicky belly." Just went home.
Yeah.
We played a friendly against Berwick Rangers that week. Again, actually, I think we won 1-0. Haddy scored a 30-yarder again. Right. At K Park. I played in that. Played another friendly, played in that. 2 weeks later, got to training, collapsed in the training room. And then Big Ali, the physio, phoned me an ambulance straight away, and that was a ruptured appendix into intensive care. Appendix whipped out. Yeah. That was me out the cup final.
How many weeks before the cup final was that? Was it the week of, or was it 2 weeks before?
That would have been probably. I think the cup final was a Saturday. It was the Thursday. The previous weeks were 10 days.
10 days. Because there was talk of you playing, which led to you getting a bit of national coverage through the summer.
I was never talking. I was never going to be playing that. My God, man! I'd been in intensive care, been in hospital for 4 days.
I'm just basing that on the headline that they eventually printed.
Aye, well, that was obviously Kingy get involved there and get the son in. and had to do an interview with the Sun. They had me at K Park, just out of surgery, getting a photo shoot taken with the boys training in the background. Kieran Dobb blasting balls at me to get stitches all over my stomach, and I've got that wee trumpet pinging balls at me from 35 yards away, trying to knock my head off. And that was it. At that point, it was just a wee bit of publicity for the team. I think we had quite good publicity in that team. I think with Kingy's connections, we always got good coverage with the Lowland League.
It was quite funny though, because like, if you talk us through what the photographer done, he said something along the lines of, "Look sad that you're not playing."
No, he asked me to look angry that I was missing the game, but I'm not. I can't just look angry. I'm not an actor, so it ended up making. I don't even know what the face was. It gets every year on these Facebook looking back in time thing that comes up. It gets put back on social media.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. It is what it is.
Because it was
darling of the media, am I?
It was quite funny just because I had no idea this was going on at the time, and I've just seen this circling, this picture of you looking sad and saying my mum won't let me play in the final, or mum's the word or something like that. It was
because my mum hadn't been to one game that season. She had to come to that game because first of all, if they won the game, I'd obviously have up on my feet, which I shouldn't have been. But then of course on the final whistle, my dad grabs me and rips a couple of stitches out as he grabs me, asking me pain. He forgets. It's just all in the chaos of the final whistle.
Well, going back to the cup final itself, what was the build-up like? Obviously you were with the team that day, unable to play. We were playing Delbeat Star at Palmerston. So big stadium, pretty much not a home game for them, but it's a local stadium for them, and we had to do a bit of travelling. What was the kind of atmosphere on the bus and within the squad like going down to the game?
The atmosphere was good. I mean, I was back on my feet and that. I wasn't in the playing squad obviously, but I was part of the team. I was around the changing room.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I was pretty much out my tits on drugs. So I was just happy in general.
Yeah.
Medically happy, if you like. But it was brilliant. There was an anxiety there, but again, the boys approached that game the way they'd approached the whole season, in that what have you got to lose? You know what I mean? Playing a team who've got a reputation at this level. We're starting to build a reputation, but they're the favourites. Just go in and play a game that we've played all season, and we got the victory.
The rest is history. Goals from McDougall and a penalty for Temps, and that was us 2-0, and came home with the trophy.
To be fair, that day, I haven't been playing right mid for most of the season. Their biggest danger came down the left side.
Right.
So the fact of me coming out and Tierney went in at right mid and we had Aaron at right back was actually benefited the team. I would have probably been a hindrance if I played, to be honest, because Tierney's far better a defender than I am. So actually that negated their best talent, who was the left winger. And then obviously we strived and we got the victory in the end.
And that proved to be your kind of last association with the club. As you can see behind us, we've got the skyline of Dubai. And
clouds that you've brought with you, apparently.
Apparently so. And Kevin moved out here, and it wasn't an easy journey moving out here in terms of football. You weren't able to get going straight away, were you?
Well, first and foremost, you don't move here to play football.
Yeah.
You move here. I had a big decision. Everyone knows how much loved my football, especially in East Kilbride, playing with the Rollie, playing with East Kilbride.
Yeah.
But one of my priorities out here, if I was going to move out here to work, I had to get a football team. I got contacted with now one of my best mates, Andy, and he got me into a team out here, Dubai All Stars, and I've been with them now over 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years now. Yeah.
And it was, what I was getting at, it wasn't an easy start in terms of as you arrived, as you were still applying for your work visa.
So for the first year,
through
makes it sound like it's a South American footballer joining La Liga or something, but I couldn't play for visa issues, so I trained every week. I played every game of fives, I played every game of sevens, any friendlies I played. There was a pub league at the weekend, which doesn't require a visa. I played in that. I got involved with the team, but it was just difficult having to watch all the competitive games. So that was my first season in Dubai. Was pretty much a bit restless.
And once you got going in your second season, what was it like playing out here? And with the high temperatures, it must have been a culture shock to switch from the cold, drizzly days at K Park to 55 degrees or whatever the high temperatures are out here.
The league setup out here is really good. We play in evenings. But first and foremost, if you play in evenings, you're not playing in the baking sun. However, from September, October, and then later on in the season, March, April time, you're talking 35 degrees in the evening, so it is hot, but you'd be surprised how quick you get used to a couple of sessions. New boys come out, I always say the same to them, see it out, I know it's tough, first one, second one, but you climatise to it very, very quickly.
And once you got going, how successful was your first season as a player at the Dubai All-Stars?
Well, my second season, my first season signed.
Your first season signed.
My first season signed, we got the visa through.
Yeah.
So that would have been 2014, season 2015-16.
Mm-hmm.
I played for the second team in League One, second division. And we went all the way, a great bunch of boys, very similar to the camaraderie we had back with my previous teams in East Kilbride. And we managed to win the league and comfortably win it. It was the old those who drink together win together mentality. So year one playing, we won the league. We said at the start of the season if we won the league we'd book up, fly down to Ayia Napa.
Alright.
Not thinking we'd win the league.
Yeah.
We won the league, so we enjoyed a three-day trip to Ayia Napa. The 2 weeks after, it was not so enjoyable. That is a hangover that was of biblical proportions. I think I opened the curtains for 2 weeks, but great year with the boys, promotion to the Premier League, into the same league our first team were in, and it was a good season, good laughs that season.
And the following season you actually dipped your toe in management. How did that all come about?
That came about, we have a pub league out here that plays on a Saturday morning, so our weekend's Friday, Saturday, so if I equate it to back home, it's a Sunday league. And I hadn't missed a game for X amount of games playing. Even it's hard to get boys to get there at 9 o'clock in the morning because they're on the bevy on the Friday night.
Yeah.
I'd never missed a game regardless of what state I was in, so they just needed someone to manage the team who's guaranteed to be there every week. So I put my hand up and I said I would do it. Never done anything like that in my life, but fancied it, and went on to manage the team that season, and we went through the season unbeaten, and I won the league.
Brilliant. And unfortunately, at the end of the season, playing for the Twos, you suffered an injury.
So that was first season in the Prem. We'd done great. We're in the same league as our first team, so we're expected, when you go up in that environment, you're expected to go straight back down. In the leagues here, you can transfer players from first team to second team unless you're in the same league.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get any help from our first team. We also had to play them as well, and they've got brilliant players. We ended up finishing, I think, third or fourth, either joint third, fourth. And final game of the season, dodgy bit of turf, and I've taken a turn and broke my leg in several places.
And which, when I was back home, found the news about it, I found out by a Facebook post that it was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen.
So a lot of people come out here to retire, come out and enjoy their life.
Yeah.
Played against a number of big players out here. Played against Davids, played against Mikael Silvestre, played against Fede Canuti, Christian Wilhelmsen.
The list goes on.
Numbers, but on this particular occasion, Eric Abidal was playing, and so I went down screaming, broke my leg, taken off. Ambulance comes, straight on the morphine. Again, similar to the story with the painkillers at East Kilbride.
Yeah.
Suddenly, leg hanging off, buzzing for life, happy, sitting up, having a laugh with the boys. And as they go to put me in the back of the ambulance, I suddenly remember that Eric Abidal was on the pitch, and I refused to get in the ambulance until such times as I get a selfie with Barcelona legend. So the opposing team's manager obliged, and he subbed Eric off to come over for a selfie. The guy did not have a clue what was happening.
Yeah.
And then I was off, and that was me. That was the beginning of 2 years recovery.
And what was that like? Obviously, the struggles out here with the high temperatures and whatnot. I mean, how much a battle was it to rehab, and get fit again to back to playing football?
Well, first and foremost, the struggles out here, the benefits out here far outweigh the struggles.
Right.
Right, good weather every day of the week. Like, the struggles were minimal. Like, the healthcare system out here is tremendous. It's private healthcare. I was in for surgery 4 days later. The hotel, it was like a hotel. The hospital I was in gave me 4 days of 5-star service.
Right.
Providing to and fro from the transport from the hospital 3-4 times a week. It was brilliant. The struggles were more so not being able to get out of the house. I lived on my own, so you want to make a cup of tea, then you can't carry it back and stuff like that. I was grateful that one of my good pals, Martin, moved in with me, and he done the cooking, he done the cleaning, he done everything. It was tough in that sense, but I would never say that there's not much to struggle about out here, to be fair.
And so in terms of the rehab, once you'd had the operation, you get the cast off, how big a process was it to getting back in and back playing football again?
Well, I was supposed to be at 9 months to a year recovery, but through my work I got the chances of playing in a 5-a-side tournament, of which the winning team would play against the Liverpool Legends Select.
Right.
So I've went out a few runs in that. I should never have been even near it. I think I still had the plates in at the time, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just come back and I'll give it a bash. So I played in the tournament, and on the pitch next to us it was Jason McAteer, Stephen Gerrard, McManaman and McAllister, Kavarma, Bjornaby, Risa,
right,
full works. And unfortunately we went out in the semi-final, and I probably curtailed my recovery by about 3 extra months.
Oof.
But the next morning I got the pleasure of going to have breakfast with Stephen Gerrard,
right,
through work, and in the 24 hours between playing in that game and having breakfast with him, he was named as the Rangers manager, which made things a little bit more difficult. I had plenty of stuff to get signed and all that, and it was that was a massive downer. Obviously, the guy's a legend in that, but he's
you seen him in a different light.
Different light that morning. I had a bit of breakfast that day.
And so obviously you got managed to get back into playing again, but you've kept the management going as well, haven't you?
Aye, so in the midst of all that, I went in for a second op on my leg. They wanted to remove all the metal, so I took all the metal out my leg, and our third team at the time were struggling. And that's who all my mates play for, so I was going down to watch them every week. And their manager, for whatever circumstances, had to leave them. They were second bottom in the league, potentially getting relegated, and they just wanted someone who'd seen all the football that season, so they asked me to do it, and I was apprehensive, but again, it was just availability. I could be there every week. A lot of guys out here are married with kids. Yeah, I'm available, I can go, so I done it, and we very, 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 very last minute managed to stay up in the league. Right, okay. And I said that was it. I said I was going to concentrate that summer on getting back playing, but I enjoyed it, so I went again last season, brought in a few new players. We finished 4th in the league, and I said I was going to chuck it, and then the second team that I previously played for got relegated last season, so I took over the second team. So this is me now in my third season. Player manager, but given the length of time that I had out and the lifestyle out here, it's difficult to shift the extra pounds that you gain. It's not so much the legs are fine, it's my lungs and my gut.
So what's it like to come round full circle, to you've come out and signed for the twos, and now it's came full circle, now you're a player manager. What kind of adjustment has that been like, and how are you finding running the team, managing the team that you came out and signed for?
The hardest part of running the team is that most of the boys are your mates. Yeah. It's harder to drop someone that's your mate. As much as, I mean, and when you do, more often than not they accept it because you're their mate, but it still makes it hard to say it to them. When I first started doing it, it's hard to differentiate between being a manager and a player, especially when you're a player manager and you're still trying to play and stuff. But this year we've got a real strong squad, and we're top of the league now, and should be going for promotion. And I've won this league as a player. Love to win it as a manager. A lot of the boys didn't play for the team when I was playing. Right. So these boys have been good players, just needed a little bit of time, and now they've got that time. I think they deserve promotion. So it's fingers crossed we get promoted this year, and it will be worth it.
And going forward for the rest of the season, is that the real goal then, an achievable goal? Is the team currently top of the league, aren't they?
No, we're top of the league, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the work league works out here is bizarre, but our league is the league that all the new teams come into. So every year, the longer you stay in this league, the less you know about teams, because all the new teams come into this one. Right. So the quality in the league this year is top drawer. We're unbeaten at this stage through default. We did get beat once, but we got the 3 points from the game, so we're unbeaten technically. So yeah, 100% realistic goal. Just need to try and keep the boys together, and this is the hardest part of the year, because boys we play on Tuesday, then boys go away for a month for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's trying to gain. You've got to do a second pre-season almost in January, because you can imagine the state of guys. Guys are moving back to the UK for a month, no work, on the piss for a full month, steak pies, mince pies, turkey for a month. So this is the hardest. If we can keep it together, January, February, then I think we're on a great shout.
Brilliant, and that concludes the interview. Thank you very much for your time, Kevin.
Cheers, thank you.